Rebuild what matters. Several years ago, while working in corporate, my personal life just turned upside down. And I started to ask myself, how do I stop this ball from rolling down this hill? I didn't have the answer, but I kept rolling and rolling and rolling until I got to the bottom, till I got to the pit stop. And then I had to regroup and rebuild and think, how do I do this? I was in the corporate world. I was at the top of my career. Things were going great, moving and shaking. Things are happening. But my personal life turned upside down. Hi, Robert. Thank you for being here. And it's so important that we know that we have the power to rebuild. Life can get messy. It can, but you can rebuild what matters. And it's so important that we know that, because the big idea that I want you to focus on today is to find out what matters to you in your life, the outcome that you want. How can you rebuild? You've got to decide that. Do you want to rebuild, first of all? That's the first question. And if you answer yes to that question, then you ask yourself, what questions? Like, what can I do to rebuild? Or how? Or who? Open-ended question. Who can I connect with? Who is doing this thing that I want to do? Who has a messy life that has turned their life around that I can healthily compare what they did with what I'm doing and draw from what they did right and borrow it and use it for myself? Because how many of you know that the things that you go through in life is not that you go through it only, but that you should have grown through it? Because when you just go through it, you're left with hole in the bag. There's nothing in it. But if you grew through the experience, then that means you can feed yourself. You can elevate your mind. You can fix your mindset. So find somebody that's doing that thing. Find somebody that has, is 5 steps ahead of you, that's doing that. You can say, you know what? I can get a blueprint from them. It's so important that we know that we can rebuild what matters. But first, you've got to decide if it matters. You've got to have that template, right? So there's 3 things that I want you to take away today in the rebuilding process. And these are things that I had to do. These are things that I'm offering to you. I don't own them. You can have them and you can use them. Number 1, clear the clutter. Number 2, choose your core. And number 3, build small, but build strong. So let me go back to clear the clutter. It's important that you identify those things that you need to let go of. Is it a negative mindset? Is it a word, a trigger that keep coming up that's causing you to lose momentum, that's causing you to stay small, that's causing you to get in your head and to keep telling yourself negative thoughts, telling you things that this is how it is, this is how you're going to stay? We've got to get to that place where what we go through teach us enough lessons so that we don't just go through it, but we grow through it. You've got to get to that growth mindset space. We've got to get to that place where we are growing through stuff. So clear the clutter, number 1. Identify all those things that are not serving you and get them out the way. And if you struggle, that's where I come in as your coach to help you to identify. Because here's the thing. If you're in the frame, you cannot see the picture. And as your coach, I hear what you're not saying. I see what you're not seeing. And I help you to identify it. Because when you're in your pain, when you're in your frustration, when you're in your overwhelm, when you're in your oh my God story, when you're in your not enough story, you get in your head. I had to learn to stop the chatter that's going on in my head. Not even stop it, but interrupt it, because we can't stop it. I had to learn to interrupt it. And how I interrupt it? With positive affirmations, the I am statements, even though I wasn't there yet. I had to tell myself, girl, you're courageous. And I wasn't courageous at the time. But I knew that's where I wanted to be. So when you say I am courageous, you're telling yourself the word that come after I am is what it is you want, is where you want to get to. Is that thing that you want to do. So clear the clutter, get rid of everything that's standing in the way of your success. Now, when you choose your core, I'm wrestling, y'all. There's noise outside. Somebody's building something. So when you choose your core, you're identifying those 2 to 3 things that you can start doing. You got to be honest with yourself. And when you identify those 2 to 3 things, then you start with 1. Use the power of 1. Break it down in bite-sized pieces. Don't overwhelm yourself. I had to, when I had my breakdown in corporate, going through a divorce, just my life falling apart, everything just helter-skelter. That wasn't what I planned, but life happens. Life gets messy, but we can rebuild. I have rebuilt my life, and I continue to rebuild each and every day, because how many of you know when you're rebuilding, it's not one and done. It's like layers and levels. You keep getting better, because I want to get in touch with the best version of myself, and I hope that's what you want too. And in order to get to the best version of yourself, you've got to give yourself permission to rebuild and find the tools that you need to rebuild. So I'm offering you some tools today. Number 1, I said to clear the clutter. Number 2, choose your core. Those core things that you need to work on. And number 3, build small, but build strong. What do you mean by that, Coach? Building small is finding that one new habit, that one new behavior that you need to do to move forward. Because everything you're going through is to help you to move forward. In the moment, it doesn't feel like it. In the sting of it, it doesn't feel like it. You want to cry, you want to throw your hands up in the air and say, forget it. Hell to the no, I'm not doing it. You want to just lay down and play dead and give up. But it's okay to feel that, as long as you don't stay there. Here's the thing. I felt it. And you do too when you go through stuff. Don't run from it. Sit with it. Feel it. And then ask yourself questions. What can I do to get up out of this? What can I do to rebuild? What can I do to change how I'm thinking? What can I do to reframe this feeling that I'm having? How can I do this thing? And I had to get into the place of gratitude, start finding things that I'm grateful for. I was grateful for being positive for 1 hour, being positive for 2 days, being positive for 5 days, to be positive for the whole week. It was a momentum that I had to build. And now I'm teaching people how to do it. If you struggle, that's where I get in the trenches with you to help you to know that you have the power to rebuild. Because you were born, you were created with everything you have on the inside. Your master designer knew you were going to have a problem with drugs. You're going to have a divorce. You're going to be fired from the job. You're going to lose a loved one. Your designer knew. But he also gave you everything you need on the inside. But it's up to you to find the help you need to rise above it. Is it therapy that you need? Find it. Because therapy helps you to deal with the trauma and the drama back there. But here's the thing. When you finish therapy, or while you're in therapy, if you need roadmaps and strategies to go forward, to get present to where you are, and know that this where I am, I don't want to stay here, then that's where I join you in the journey to help you with tools to go forward. I'm your forward thinking girl. I will help to push you forward. I will help you to get up and build your resilience muscle. Because how many of you know the thing that you go through, the things that happen to you really happen for you? I know you may not be feeling that right now because you're hurting, you're in pain, but how many of you know pain is a teacher? Because if you sit with the pain of what you're going through and ask it, what did you show up in my life to teach me? You will get the answer. You will get answers. But here's the thing. You have to be in a healthy place to ask healthy, good questions. Because how many of you know great leaders, and you're a great leader if you're leading yourself, great leaders ask great questions. Because the brain is designed that any question you ask it, it will come up with an answer. So be careful what you're asking your brain, what you're asking your mind, what you're saying to yourself. So here's my call to action for you today. Is to find out, to choose that one thing in your life that you want to rebuild. What is that one thing? For me, it was I have to rebuild my self-talk. how I talk to myself. Because how many of you know that even though you're not saying the words out loud, you're not calling yourself idiot and stupid where people can hear you, but you're saying it in your head? That's just as impactful as you saying it out loud. Because hear me and hear me well. If there's no enemy within you, the enemies outside can do you no harm. So you've got to remind yourself that the thoughts that you think matters. How you think matters. So I had to make a deal with myself to rebuild by starting with my self-talk. The second thing that I had to rebuild was my courage. Yeah, was my courage. I remember I was talking to my manager when I was moving from New Jersey to go to Florida back in 2012, and my life was falling apart, y'all. That was around the same time that Hurricane Sandy hit. And Hurricane Sandy, when it hit New Jersey, where I was leaving, me heading to Florida, I was racing to get ahead of the storm, y'all. And when I sat down and thought about it, the storm of Hurricane Sandy was how I felt. That's how I felt my life was. Like a hurricane. But how many of you know that today being here talking to you is because I sat with it. I felt the pain of it. And I asked the situation, what did you come to teach me? And all the things I've learned, that's what caused me to be resilient. That's what caused me to be courageous. Because of the things I had to start telling myself. I had to start telling myself I was courageous even though I wasn't. And I was sharing with my manager in New Jersey. And he was saying, Shelia, for you to drive by yourself from New Jersey to Florida, to Courage, for you to say yes to the director when he asked who can go to Florida and start the high network desk and manage it, you saying yes, that was courage. You showing up for work when New Jersey was shut down and you had to wake up early and man the calls to help people move their money around in the middle of Hurricane Sandy. When I had to stay up late, I was building my courage. I was building the muscle of courage, because everything that I teach you in this space, I've lived. I don't share from a place of book learning only, but life learning. How many of you know life will teach you lessons? The other thing that I had to work on was my communication. I had to build my communication. And how did I do that? As a girl with an accent from the island of Jamaica, and you know I'm a Jamaican, and sometimes I get so excited you can hear the accent come out. And I had to lean in because I knew I had something to say. I knew I had an assignment. So I joined Toastmasters, and Toastmasters helped me to own my voice. Toastmasters helped me to think on my feet. Toastmasters helped me to be able to do impromptu speaking, creating a long speech, a short speech. Toastmasters allowed me to have the mentorship that I needed to craft my speech. There are things out there to help you to rebuild. What area of your life that you need rebuilding in? Put some time on my calendar, and I'm going to put the link in the description so that you can get out of the frame. You can see what I see, because here's what I see. I see resilience in you. I see courage in you. I see positivity in you. I see joy in you. Even though your hell is breaking loose right now in your life. I need you to own it. I need you to recognize that everything you need is on the inside of you, and you need to look within. Look within you and find your power. You were designed with the power that you need to get up every day, even though life is serving you lemons. I was talking to one of my sons the other day, and he said, remember, Mommy, I remember you telling me, hey, Clivey, I remember you telling me, Mom, that when life serves you lemon, make lemonade. Get some sugar and make lemonade. And that's what I offer to you. I know life is not easy. Some of you are going through different challenges in your work, in your personal life. Around the world, things are just chaotic. I get it. But everything you need is on the inside of you. I needed to take that with you today. You can rebuild, even though life is messy. Use those 3 steps. Clear the clutter. Choose your core. Build small, but build strong. Thank you again for meeting me here. Have a great day, and may God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.